Brought to you live via San Luis, Missouri. This is Bombers Game Mike. I'm Paul D, and this afternoon, the St. Louis Cardinals take on the Arizona Diamondbacks at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Here in this second game of the three-game weekend set, working right off the break there. How are y'all doing this afternoon? I'm running a little behind myself, but I have had to move heaven and earth here just in order for this stream to actually work and get it up and running in time to some level of functionality. So join the Game Mike roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. Now let me give you quickly the starting lineups here for the St. Louis Cardinals. Leading off at second base is J.J. Weatherall. Batting second at DH is Ivan Herrera. Batting third at first base is Alec Burleson. Batting cleanup in right field is Jordan Alexander Walker. Batting fifth out in left field is Lars Nootbaar. Batting sixth at shortstop is Mason Wynn. Batting seventh in center field is Nate Church. Batting eighth at the hot corner is Jose Fermin. And batting in the 9-hole at catcher is Pedro Pajes. Now for the Arizona Diamondbacks, leading off at second is Marte. Batting second at shortstop is Perdomo. Batting third in right field is Carroll. Batting cleanup at DH is Moreno, getting that half day off, not being behind the plate. Batting fifth out in left field is Kepler. Batting sixth at third base is Nolan Arenado. Batting seventh at first base is Tawa. Batting eighth behind the dish is McCann. And batting ninth in center field is Waldschmidt. That's your 1 through 9. And going here for the D-backs this afternoon is the right-hander, Brandon Pfaadt. He is 2-1, has an ERA a little over 5, a four-seamer, a sinker, a curve, a cutter, a sweeper, a changeup, and a slider is his repertoire. And going in the bottom half of the frame here will be none other than Dustin May. So join the Game Mike roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. How's it going, Thurman? Good to see you. Justin Beasley, always a wonderful sight. Patrick Cochran, cheers from Wyoming. Go Cards. I'll get the various overlays there in the half inning. Now stepping into the box is J.J. Weatherall. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. And they're just about finished with warm-ups here, so join the Game Mike roll call. Harold Houseman, I am back, folks. Good to see you all. And Harold, I saw what you wrote earlier. I took a screenshot of it just in case I ever need to pick myself up. Thank you so much. Stepping into the box is J.J. Weatherall. Righty-lefty matchup. The Cardinals are wearing their alternate powder blues for the Saturday. Pfaadt comes set. The first pitch. A four-seam fastball low and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. J.J. Weatherall hitting .262 with 14 home runs, 37 RBIs, a .768 OPS. He winds the 1-0. Hit to the right side. Picked up on a couple bounces there by Marte. He throws to first in time for the first out of the inning. So J.J. Weatherall bounces out 4-3 for the first out here in the top of the first inning. And in the case of Pfaadt here, despite the fact his name is spelled P-F-A-A-D-T, he pronounces it Pfaadt. The P and the T that anchor it on the outside are silent. Now the first pitch, Ivan Herrera. Hit on out there into center field. Coming in as the center fielder. He's underneath it. Coming in as the right fielder, Carroll out of nowhere. He slides. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Carroll just came right out of frame there, called everybody else off, and hauled in the second out. One pitch, one out there to Ivan Herrera. So nobody on with two out here in the top of the first inning. Now here comes Alec Burleson. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. He steps into the box. As I was mentioning earlier, the Cardinals are wearing their alternate Saturday road powder blue uniform with the red piping, birds on the bat, red letters and numbers, and the standard primary red ball caps and helmets. The first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball down and in to the burly first baseman for St. Louis. And the count is 0-1. Pfaadt comes from a modified wind. The 0-1 pitch. A sinker down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. So thank you all so much for joining me here on part of your Saturday afternoon here on Game Mike. Boy, do I have a story to tell. Fought comes one. He deals. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by the first baseman. Takes it to the bag himself for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, and nobody left on. After 1/2 inning of play, it is the St. Louis Cardinals nothing and the Arizona Diamondbacks coming to bat. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right, let's go to the chat. All right. Start with the very beginning. Trisk. Today, Bombers Game Mike hits 1,100 subscribers. Well, we can only hope, Trisk. Number 3 like at 11 a.m. Central. Now, that's something. Harold Hausman, I'll be there 100%, and you have been more than there, my friend. Goldie, glad to be here with my Birds on the Bat family. Cheers to that. Justin Beasley, I'm curious. How did the fishing go today? Jazz Wolf. Tacoma Cards fan checking in. Always a pleasure to see you, Jazz Wolf. And Thurman. Always a pleasure. Always a sight for sore eyes. Well, in any case here. Harold. You know, I know the Cards took a lot of crap for such a horrible second half last season, but I'd like to ask that everybody keep ... Jeff Coleman. Joining from work again. Let's go Cardinals. Well, hey, Jeff, I'm always glad that we're able to keep you company. So we're awaiting the bottom of the first inning. I'll take care of the overlay stuff here in a moment. Like I said, it's been just an absolute menace just to get this thing up and running at bare bones. So leading it off will be Marte, followed by Perdomo and Carroll. And they're facing Dustin May, who's 5-6 with a 4.55 ERA, 28 walks against 89 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.26 over 18 starts. However, since May the 27th, he has been throwing with an ERA of about 3.9. That's really the stretch. That was the no-hitter that got broken up in the 8th back in Milwaukee. And he's on the bump. It will be a righty-lefty matchup. He winds the first pitch to Marte. Up and away and out of the zone, and the count is 1-0. And the story behind Dustin May is a long one because he matters a lot to this team in a lot of different ways. May comes one, the 1-0 pitch. A four-seam fastball down and in ruled a ball, and the count is 2-0. One is because naturally the Cardinals need him to perform in order to try and get a playoff spot, but he's also trade bait. May looks in. He comes to the full wind. He deals. A cutter ruled a ball. Challenged immediately there by Pius. It was on the upper portion of the strike zone on the outer third. It's a good challenge as far as I'm concerned. So we await the ABS there. I thought he had tapped the helmet on that. Apparently not. Coming wide. The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. So 4 straight there to Marte. And Dustin May gives out a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the first inning. I could have sworn after that 3-0 pitch that Pages tapped the top of his helmet, but apparently not. Very unusual. I do not know what happened there. Now, stepping into the box is the lefty hitting shortstop Perdomo, runner on first. And it looks like there's time by the home plate umpire. Something disrupted play there. But Perdomo's back into the box. It's a righty-lefty matchup. From the stretch is May. Runner leads off first. He sets at the belt. The first pitch to Perdomo. A four-seam fastball called a strike on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Tucson checking in. Good to see you, Roger. May comes set at the belt. He deals. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by Weatherall. He throws the second one. On the first, a double play. A 4-6-3 double play. And that counts for both the first and second out here in the bottom of the first inning. And yes, Justin, I know. I'm behind on the gong. I apologize. A lot has been begging for my attention lately, but the gong you shall get. So a double play there, and now there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning with nobody on. Now here's the lefty hitting Carroll. Righty-lefty matchup with nobody on and 2 out. Coming winds May. The first pitch to Carroll. Strike. Uncle Charlie down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. Corbin Carroll hitting .252, 14 home runs, 47 RBIs in 94 games and .830 OPS. I believe he was an all-star this year. May winds. May deals. Swinging strike on the changeup down and in, and the count is 0-2. But as I was saying earlier, obviously Dustin May is pretty critical in any rotation that's trying to get a playoff spot. But clearly, they're also shopping him as well. May winds. The Dutchman deals. Called strike 3. 4-seam fastball on the inside corner. For the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, nobody left on. After 1 full inning of play, it is no score here in Game 2 of 3 in this weekend set. We are heading to the top of the second inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. No fishing. Got rained out. I'm sorry to hear that, Justin. Yeah, DP, way to go, no doubt. Okay, Harold Houseman, continuing from the last one. In mind, the Birds historically are a second-half surging team. For whatever that may be worth, let's go Cards. I always rather have a second-half team than a first-half team, Harold. Of that, there is absolutely no doubt whatsoever. Most good baseball fans, I think, should tell you the same. So, after 1 full here, there is no score. Due up for the Redbirds in the top of the second inning is Jordan Walker, followed by Nootbaar and Wynn. So that's a thing. All right. Let's get to the old MLB. Okay. All right, we're nearly back here for the top of the second inning. I'm just getting you your strike zone, at the very least. No, it's been a very hectic day. I had an early morning flight, got into St. Louis. The flight was slightly late getting in, which at the very least is an annoyance. And then from there in the late morning, I had to come in here and begin putting the studio together in some meaningful capacity in order to get this thing up and running for you all here today. And that's largely the story there. Now, here is Jordan Walker. It's a righty-righty matchup. The first pitch. Strike, a sinker on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1 to Jordan Alexander Walker. Now, the 0-1 pitch. A sinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. And that's the story there so far, folks. So I hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday afternoon. Now, the 1-1 pitch. Chop foul down the third base side and out of play. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jordan Walker. Nobody on and nobody out. Top of the second inning. No score. All righty. There we go. Tom is graded by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. And the count remains 1-2. Fought comes wide. He deals. Hit to the left side. Picked up there by the third baseman deep in the hole at third. Throws to first in time to get Jordan Walker flying down the line for the first out of the inning. So Jordan Walker grounds out 5-3 for the first out here at the top of the second inning. And now here comes the lefty Lars Nootbaar. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Fought comes set on the bump. He winds. The first pitch to Nootbaar. Strike a sinker right down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. Back into the box is Newpar. It's a righty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 pitch. A curveball down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. Excuse me, 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by the first baseman, covering his spot on the bag. He takes the throw, beats Newbark to the bag for the second out of the inning. So Lars Newpar grounds out 3-1 for the second out. And now stepping up to the plate is the righty hitting shortstop for St. Louis, Mason Wynn, who by all fair accounts was last night's player of the game. No question, both on offense and defense. He made a spectacular play there with the infield in and a runner on third, where he had to range far to his right with very little reaction time. Managed to get the runner at first, keep the runner at third, and that was a very important play in this game. Nobody on with 2 out. Top of the second inning, no score. The first pitch from Fott. A slider away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Mason Wynn hitting .245 with 4 home runs, 41 RBIs in 88 games. The 1-0 pitch hit on out there in the left field and in for a base hit. Picking up out there is the left fielder, so Mason Wynn hits himself a 2-out single to left, and the Cardinals have a runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the second inning. And that appeared to be a sinker that was on the inside corner below the belt for that 2-out hit to left field off the bat of Mason Wynn. Now here's Nate Church. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Common set fought from the stretch. Runner leads off first. The first pitch to Church. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 0-1. Nate Church in 78 games is hitting .232, 8 home runs, 28 RBIs, a .653 OPS. It's an 0-1 count. Runner on first. From the stretch is Fott. He throws over to first. Back in time with the head first slide is Mason Wynn. Yes. 4 Life, 32 likes, 121 people watching. Come in set is Fott. He deals. Fouled straight back up on the changeup away, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. John Harding, glad you're back on today. Love your broadcast. Well, thank you so much, John. Some days are more challenging than others, and today was definitely one of the challenging ones. So it's an 0-2 count here for Church in the hole here against Fott. Mason Wynn leads off first, an 0-2 count. He comes set at the stretch. He holds. He deals. A four-seam fastball well upstairs. Holding off on that one was Nate Church, and the count is 1-2. Fott has a very methodical approach, very deliberate. He sets at the stretch. The 1-2 to Church. Called strike 3 on the sweeper on the outside corner above the knees. Gets called out looking for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no walks, 1 left on. After 1.5 innings of play, it is scoreless going to the bottom of the second inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Okay. Nick, or a 4 Life. I'm a little busy today, so I'm hoping to be in and out on tonight's broadcast. Hey, 4 Life, Nick. Here's the thing, Nick. I've gotten so used to calling you that going back to 4 Life is actually challenging. I mean, I can definitely tell the difference between you and DJ Nick Fly. I'll make the effort because you do so much here on the channel, obviously. But 4 Life, don't worry about it, man. You definitely put in your dues here on Game Mike, and it's always a pleasure to see you. And it's a pleasure to see all of you. Jim Rogers, a 70-year Cardinal fan. I'm excited about this team. Well, Jim Rogers, I'm excited about them too. Because we're very lucky that this is an exciting team, They're good. They're very much learning on the fly. And at least to me, that's a real pleasure to watch. And, I've been thinking about more and more about the J.J. Weatherall 8-year extension. And the monies and the details on the years, in some ways, is kind of immaterial. In some ways, at least to me. It's a sign that J.J. Weatherall is buying in on the ground floor. And that's what leaders do. That's what guys who have a vision of what greatness can be on a team do. They say, I want to play here. And I'm sure you'll compensate me very well. But it's more important that I get on the ground floor here because wonderful things await. That's how I interpreted that. And I'm curious what you guys think. Now we are here for the bottom of the second inning. Coming winds May, the first pitch. Strike, a sinker on the inside corner, and the count is 0-1 to the righty Moreno. Behind the dish last night at DH night, righty-righty matchup. May winds, the Dutchman deals, fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball away, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Here, I'll get to the chat back there in a moment. It's an 0-2 count to Moreno. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning, no score. Now the 0-2 pitch. Fouled away on the sweeper away, and the count remains 0-2. Thurman. Uganda is right on the equator, and if you pour water down the drain in the northern hemisphere, the water goes down. Oh, yes, the Coriolis effect. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Moreno. Roger Baseman, I'm in at 60 years a fan. No questions there. The Dutchman, he looks in. The Dutchman winds, and the 0-2 offering. Hit on out there in the right field. Charging in is Jordan Walker. He has to play it on a hop. And so Moreno has a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second inning. For the D-backs, it was a single to right field. Playing on a hop was Jordan Walker. And now the D-backs have a runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. DJ Nick Fly checking in from a gas station in Douglasville, Alabama. On the road, headed to Disney World, about to go through Atlanta. Good thing I got Paul D. Hey, Nick, I'm glad I can keep you company. Now the first pitch to the lefty Kepler. Swinging strike on the curveball, down and in, and the count is 0-1. Max Kepler hitting .205, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, .548 in 13 games. From the stretch is May. Runner leads off first, the 0-1. A cutter down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Runner leads off first. It's a 1-1 count. May is back at the stretch. He holds the pitch. Hit on out there into foul territory in left field. Going over is Fermin on the track, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So a foul out there for the first out wide of third by Kepler, and now here comes the righty Nolan Arenado. We know all about this guy. Quite a few wonderful years watching him at the hot corner. So a runner on first with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning, no score. Coming set is May. The first pitch to Arenado. A sinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Arenado's back into the box. Runner leads off first with 1 out. It's a 1-0 count. He sets. The Dutchman deals. Hit on there, foul down the first baseline on the sweeper away, and the count is 1-1. Nolan Arenado, .240, 12 home runs, 40 RBIs in 91 games. So he's definitely not having a bad year, even though his truly best ones are indeed behind him. It's a 1-1 count. From the stretch is May. The 1-1 offering, hit to the left side and through the hole into left field for a base hit beyond the diving reach there of Mason Wynn at short. And now they have runners on first and second with one out here in the bottom of the second inning. A real seeing eye single there by Nolan Arenado. It seemed to be a sweeper on the inside corner, left up, and just beyond the diving reach of Mason Wynn at short. In that hole between short and third. Runners on first and third with one out. Now here is the righty Tawa. He's at first base today. From the stretch is May. He deals. Strike, sinker on the outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Tawa's hitting .227, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. From the stretch is May. The pitch. A four-seam fastball just misses the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. So runners on first and second with one out. Infield defense in modified double play depth. Coming sets May. The 1-1 offering. A sinker in the dirt and clear out of the zone. The count is 2-1. I'll get to your point there in a minute, Jimmy. Back into the box is Tawa. Coming set at the belt is May. Runners lead off first and second with one out. The 2-1 offering. A cutter ruled a ball on the outside corner, and the count is now 3-1 strike to Tawa. So, Dustin May here is one pitch away from loading the bases. He comes set. And the 3-1 offering. Swinging strike on the swinker down and in, and the count comes full at 3-2. So full count here. May is battling his way back in this at-bat. And as we learned last night, Tawa can be a very pesky out. Runners lead off first and second with one out. From the stretch is May. The 3-2. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Tawa for the second out of the inning. So Tawa went down hacking there. Dustin May battling his way all the way back in the at-bat. And that was a sinker that had wonderful vertical action on it. Swung over the top of that, did Tawa. Now, here is the catcher, McCain. He's hitting .227. Runners on first and second with two out. Bottom of the second inning, no score. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch from May. A sweeper just misses the outside corner, ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0. James McCann, .227, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs in 24 games, a .602 OPS. It's a 1-0 count. Runners lead off first and second. From the stretch is May. He deals. Hit to the right side and through the hole into right field for a base hit. Coming home in scoring from second is the runner, and that will give the Diamondbacks a 1-0 lead. Oh, so an RBI single to right for McCann. And now the Diamondbacks have runners on first and third with two out here in the bottom of the second inning. And in that case, it looked to be a sinker that was left out on the outer third, and it was about just below the belt, and he went the other way with it, just about the only thing you can do on a heavy sinker. Now, here's the 9-hitter, Waldschmidt. Righty-righty matchup. He is hitting .250 on the year. In 35 games, no home runs, 9 RBIs. He is the 9-hitter and center fielder today. Coming sets May. The first pitch to Waldschmidt. Strike, sweeper right down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. Next pitch is going to be Dustin May's 29th on the afternoon. Runners lead off first and third with two out. It's an 0-1 count. From the stretch is May. The 0-1 offering. Hit foul behind the plate on the four-seam fastball, up and away, and the count is 2 strikes. Arenado there is at third. He is 90 feet away. Waldschmidt is back into the box. It's an 0-2 count. Coming sets May, the 0-2 offering. A sweeper down and away and out of the zone, slightly over the lefty batter's box, and the count is 1-2. Waldschmidt gets back into the box. Right now, May has been having trouble getting consistency on his breaking stuff that usually swing and miss. And here's the pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Waldschmidt for the third and final out of the inning. However, the Diamondbacks, they pushed their first across, and they have a 1-0 lead. We go to the top of the third inning. I'm Paul D, and if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike this afternoon, and you haven't done so already, please leave a like. It's really helping the growing channel continue to grow, and I am deeply appreciative of it. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you aboard. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right. Now, Jimmy, you had something written up here. Okay. JJ extension was a great move for everybody. Cardinals and him. Honestly, it was. Yeah, I take that as him buying in fully to what they're building here. And that is something that a leader does. And the fact of the matter is he's showing himself to be that. Never at any point this year, for the most part, has he ever felt like a rookie. It's easy to forget that he is. Robert Weller in Niceville, Florida is in the house. Good to see you, Robert. All righty. I will get to more as time goes on. Hey, it's Scott Reed, Biloxi, ... Late buddy here. Hey, it's always good to see you, Scott. And David Hodge. Always a pleasure. And I hope you all are having a wonderful Saturday afternoon here. And thank you for spending part of it with me. We await the top of the third inning. Due up for the Redbirds will be Fermin, Pajes, and Weatherholt. 8, 9, and 1 in the Cardinals order. They're down 1-0. And Fott is back out onto the bump for his third frame of work. And here comes Jose Fermin. He has been Mr. Everything, Everywhere, all at once. Fott looks in, righty-righty matchup. He winds. The first pitch of Fermin. Strike, sinker on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Fermin hitting .265, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs in 61 games. Fott winds, he deals, hit to the left side, picked up there at third, but dropped by Arenado. He double clutches, he throws to first in time to get Jose Fermin going down the line for the first out of the inning. So Fermin bounces out, 5-3 for the first out here in the top of the third inning. Now here comes the catcher today, Pedro Pajes. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Pajes is hitting .212, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs in 55 games, a .586 OPS. His very presence suggests dysfunction at the catcher position for the Cardinals on the big league level. Fott winds, the first pitch to Pajes. Strike, a sinker on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Fott winds, the 0-1 pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball outside corner below the belt, and the count is 0-2. Pajes is back in the box. Coming winds Fott, the 0-2. Called strike 3 on the sinker down Broadway for the second out of the inning. So Pedro Pajes gets caught in the observatory, getting the backwards K for the second out. Now here comes J.J. Weatherholt. He's 0 for 1. Flew out back in his first at-bat. Nobody on with 2 out here in the top of the third inning. 1-0 Diamondbacks. Fought winds, the first pitch to J.J. Uncle Charlie strike right down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. 261, 14 home runs, 37 RBIs for Weatherholt this year, all in 91 games. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Fought winds, the 0-1 offering. A curveball down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. He's back into the box. Yeah, here's the pitch. A cutter well inside and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. So far, Fought today has been really doing a fine job at assaulting the strike zone when necessary. And he's been going right after these hitters. Now the 2-1 pitch. Foul tipped on the changeup down and away, and the count is even at 2-2. That changeup down and away from the left-hander from the righty, the circle change with the arm side action, when they pull that off, it is absolute death. And when they don't, it goes about 400 feet and a few rows deep beyond the right field wall. Stepping off the bump there is Fought. And back in the box is Weatherall. Infield defense shaded towards right. He winds the 2-2. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone, and the count is full 3-2. So 2 out, nobody on. It's a full count here, 1-0 Arizona. Here in the top of the third inning, on deck is Ivan Herrera. The 3-2 pitch, hit on up the middle, played there by Perdomo just behind second. He throws to first in time to get Weatherall for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. 1, 2, 3, go the Redbirds. And we go to the bottom of the third inning. It is 1-0 Arizona. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Okay. Well, in any case, right now, the Cardinals' offense against Fought has been fairly listless to really start things off, unfortunately. Just the reality of the situation. It is what it is. And in the case of May, he had the one questionable inning, but so far he's really showing his usual stuff. Now, here's a question I want to ask you all. In terms of the trade deadline, I don't go crazy talking about trade stuff here, but this is more just general strategy. If you're the Cardinals, can you be both a buyer and a seller at the same time? Which is to say, can you trade a piece that you think you can do without, where you think you're getting back pieces for the future that will help you, while at the same time also acquiring some minor pieces that could be really useful, like, for example, some much needed relief in the bullpen? I'm really curious to what your ideas are on that general line of thinking. And we are going to the bottom of the third inning. Due up for the D-backs is going to be Marte, Perdomo, and Carroll. 1, 2, 3 in the D-back order. It is 1-0 Arizona here in the bottom of the third inning. And a whole bunch of really nice desert establishing shots here for this game this afternoon. Back onto the bump is Dustin May. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup against Marte. He winds the first pitch to Marte. Hit on out there in the right field and in for a base hit. So Marte just muscles out a single into shallow right field for a leadoff single to right. And the Diamondbacks have a runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. CH-Man, hey Paul D, how are you? Hit 500 today. Thanks for your support. Go Birds. Well, CH-Man, congratulations. And anybody who's not subscribed to CH-Man for Dodgers play-by-play, they're missing out. Go over there and do that right now. Now, here's the lefty hitting shortstop, Perdomo. He's 0 for 1. Now, here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball just misses on the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. So a runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 here for the D-backs. From the stretch is May. He holds, Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Perdomo. May was halfway through his motion when it was called, and he was none too pleased, and you could see it on his face. All right. Voronor, they probably can, but I think they should stand firm. Interesting. I'll get back to the rest of the moment. From the stretch is May. The 1-0 offering. A curveball up and away and out of the zone, and the count is 2-0. Not a buyer or seller. As Coach Saban used to say, trust the process. Okay, so you want to stand pat. Fair enough. It's a 2-0 count. 34 pitches so far for May. He's at the stretch. The 2-0 to Perdomo. Fouled down the third base side and out of play on the sinker away, and the count is 2-1. All right, let's see more here. Oh, there's plenty here. Back into the box is Perdomo. Runner on first with nobody out. It's a 2-1 count. May sets the belt. He deals. A sinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. Harold. Well, Paul, I just don't think we have the trade currency in player value without giving up the farm, so to speak. I'll be more specific in terms of what I mean. Harold. From the stretch is May. He holds. He deals. Strike. Cutter on the inside corner below the belt to Perdomo, and the count comes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So what I'm talking about here, Harold, is not about going out and getting a big piece. I don't think that's in the cards. I don't think that's really the plan. Setting at the belt is May. He throws over to first. Back in time is Marte, taking less than a 0 lead. And the count remains 3-2. What I'm talking about is selling off a guy like, say, Dustin May here. The idea, however, would be to get near major league ready talent they could have years down the line, preferably a pitcher. From the stretch is May, the 3-2. Ball 4 on the sinker, down and in. So now the D-backs have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. I think that's more what they're going for. But the idea is, on top of that, at the same time, not necessarily in the same deal, going out and perhaps acquiring some useful pieces as relievers. Obviously, you're not going to go out there and pick up Mason Miller. But as far as the bullpen is concerned, bullpen success is transient, and the scrap heap can be very useful. Now, here's the first pitch to Carroll. Foul tipped off his foot on the cutter in, and the count is 0-1. So runners on first and second with nobody out. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Diamondbacks. It's an 0-1 count here to Carroll. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Next pitch is going to be May's 40th. This is one of those times where a double play ball would go a very long way. May sets at the belt. He holds. The 0-1. Hit on up the middle. Picked up there by Mason Wynn. He steps on second one. On to first. A double play. A double play erases the first 2 runners there. That puts out the first 2 outs. And now the Diamondbacks have a runner on third with 2 out. Here in the bottom of the third inning. It was lightly hit right up to Mason Wynn, who was just to the left side of second. He picked it up on a pair of hops, stepped on second, relay throw to first in time for the second out and the first outs of the inning. Very timely double play ball. Now here's the DH Moreno, righty-righty matchup. From the stretch is May. The first pitch. Strike gets away from Pages, but staying right there at third is the runner. It is ruled a strike, and the count is 0-1. In fact, it went right into Pages' glove, popped out, and rolled away from him. Back into the box is Moreno. Infield defense playing way back and straight away. Runner leads off third. It's an 0-1 count. Moreno, 1 for 1. Hit 307 with 6 home runs, 32 RBIs. From the stretch is May. The Dutchman deals. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. All right. Well, I suppose if we could get so we could seed some young future rotation pitching in, that'd be worth pulling the trigger. I think that's really more the idea in that regard. It's an 0-2 count. May deals. And it gets past by. He's coming home. Here's the runner. Here's the play. Here's the throw. And he is safe at home. And that has to be ruled a wild pitch there by May. It got away from Paez. Runner came home all the way from third, and that will give the Diamondbacks a 2-0 lead. The pitch is obviously ruled a ball. It appeared to be a sweeper, and it was wild, but it was also something that Paez usually stops. He tried to get it on the backhand, but he couldn't pull it in. It went over his head and all the way to the backstop. Runner scored easily. It's a 1-2 count from the full wide. The 1-2 pitch. Hit to the left side and into left field for a base hit. Picked up there by Nootbaar. So Moreno has a 2-out single to left, and the Diamondbacks have a runner on first with 2 out. Here in the bottom of the third inning, 1 already across here, scoring on that wild pitch, presumably from Dustin May. Now here's the lefty Kepler, who's 0 for 1. Righty-lefty matchup. From the stretch is May. The first pitch to Kepler. Up and away, a 4-seam fastball out of the zone. The count is 1-0. I would have to agree with most of that. I'll get to the best there in a moment, Harold. It's a 1-0 count. From the stretch is the Dutchman. And the 1-0 offering. A changeup well out away and out of the zone over the righty batter's box, and the count is 2-0. I also would like to see the Cardinals really double down on scouting and coaching talent. Really take over the league. We never know what gems slip. Fair enough. May comes set. The 2-0 offering. A cutter down and in and out of the zone. The count is 3-0. A very long inning here by May. Not much by the way of damage, but it's definitely been one stressful pitch after the other. And that double play ball was obviously quite timely. May comes set. Runner leads off first with 2 out. It's a 3-0 count. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4 on the 4-seam fastball, missed high. And now the Diamondbacks have runners on first and second with 2 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Well, one thing that I can definitely say, at least in their messaging, is that the Cardinals have made it abundantly clear that they are very much a draft and develop organization. Now, to what extent they fully follow through on that remains to be seen. But right now, at the very least, I would like to see the Cardinals stand pat, but I do recognize that there will be teams out there at the deadline who think they have a chance, who will definitely overpay for a guy like Dustin May at the deadline. Now, here's Nolan Arenado. He's 1 for 1. Righty-righty matchup. Runners on first and second with 2 out. From the stretch is May. The first pitch to Arenado. Hit to the left side and down the left field line. Into the corner for a base hit. At least 1 run will score. Picking up his Nootbaar there in the corner. There's a play at home. Here's the throw. Here's the play. And he is safe at home. And that is a 2 RBI, 2-out double for Nolan Arenado. And that will give the Diamondbacks a 4-0 lead. And Nolan Arenado really just coming up out of nowhere. Very much like a snake in the grass, excuse the reference. I wasn't going for a pun here. But the carom on that just died. It took forever for Newt to get that ball in the corner. And then there was barely a play at home to be had on that second run. So 3 already in here. Runner on second with 2 out in the bottom of the third inning. 4-0 Arizona. Now, Dusty Blake, the pitching coach, is heading out on the mound. Have a little powwow there with Dustin May. All right, let's get back to the chat. Okay. May's last 3 starts have destroyed his trade value. Yeah, it's been very up and down. The injury stuff is the thing that can really, really leave you in a difficult position if you're trying to deal somebody. Like, Jojo Romero at the moment, appendicitis. Yeah, I don't think he's getting dealt, guys. So if this team is going to make the postseason, they're going to do it partially on the left arm of Jojo Romero whenever he gets back from the appendicitis. Though usually has a pretty good recovery time. All right. Hey, C. John, good to see you. Howdy, friends. Hope everyone is having a nice Saturday afternoon. Everybody but the Cardinals at the moment. Now, here's the righty Tawa, 0 for 1. Righty-righty matchup. Arenado leads off second. The first pitch. Strike, sweeper on the inner third below the belt. And the count is 0-1. Tawa hitting .225, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs in 40 games, a .727 OPS. From the stretch is May. The 0-1 offering. Strike, four-seam fastball, whispers over the black of the outside corner, and the count is 0-2. So May is 1 strike away here from ending this nightmarish inning. Tawa is back into the box. Runner leads off second. Coming sets May. The 0-2 pitch. A sweeper well out and away over the lefty batter's box, and the count is 1-2. That's the one pitch today that's been killing May, because the sinkers have been fine, getting some ground ball contact, but the swing and miss stuff comes on the sweeper, hasn't been working so great. He's from the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down, hacking goes Tawa for the third and final out of the inning. However, the Diamondbacks, they push 3 more across. They have a 4-0 lead. We go to the top of the 4th inning, down in game 2 of 3 here in this weekend set, the very first series after the All-Star break out in Chase Field out in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right, let's go to the chat. Whistle time indeed. So right now, obviously, the front office very much wants 2 things from Dustin May. They want him to stay healthy, which hasn't been easy. The lower back soreness, the line drive off the ankle, you get the idea. And he's been very up and down. But if he's able to put together a couple of good starts, probably after today in all honesty, then they could conceivably get some value. The thing is really interesting is front offices at the deadline are ridiculously myopic, right? They will make stupid moves. And I mean that in terms of the team that would go out and overpay for May. And that's kind of the beauty of the deadline, is there's that pressure there for teams that are looking to compete. They want to be able to put butts in seats. They want people tuning into their games. They want the good press. You get the idea. And depending on the organization, they may not have many times to get there. But right now, Dustin May is not doing the Cardinals front office a heck of many favors. Harold, yeah, it's pretty miserable to watch him underperform, especially when you have the contrast of how good he can actually be. All right, we're back here for the top of the 4th inning. Leading off is Herrera, followed by Burleson and Jordan Walker. 2, 3, and 4 in the Cardinal order. Fought is out for his 4th frame of work. Nolan Arenado, he's definitely done a fine job killing the Cardinals in the times he's faced them this year. Really something to behold. Now here comes Ivan Herrera. It's a righty-righty matchup. Common Wines fought. The first pitch. Strike, a sinker, whispers over the black of the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Back into the box is Herrera. Now here's the pitch. A changeup ruled the ball down and away, challenged immediately there by the catcher. So we have an ABS challenge incoming here. It is ruled a ball. Let's see what ABS has to say. And it's confirmed a ball. So Arizona loses one of its 2 allotted challenges in regulation. Cardinals have both of theirs. It's a 1-1 count. Coming once, fought. The 1-1 pitch. A sweeper away and out of the zone over the lefty batter's box. And the count is 2-1 to Ivan Herrera. Now the 2-1 pitch. Hit foul down the third baseline and out of play. And the count is even at 2-2. Yeah, John, that is the thing, isn't it? Looks like something dropped out there on the field, so they had to wait a moment for play to resume. Fought once. The 2-2 pitch. Hit foul down the first base side, now to play on the sweeper away. And the count remains 2-2. Oh, that's better. Fought once. He deals. Hit foul down the third baseline and out of play. The count remains 2-2. Piccolangelo. I disagree. Selling outfield help for pitching help. Sell Newt, I'm fine. Don't count on Baez being someone his walks and strikeouts. Now the 2-2 pitch. Foul down the third baseline. The count remains 2-2. Baez being someone whose walks and strikeout numbers are going to be worse this year than the years before. He broke out last year. I'll get to the rest. Looking in is fought. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the fourth inning. The 2-2 pitch. Hit foul down the third base side and out of play, and the curveball in. And Herrera is just refusing to go down. I don't care how many home runs you hit in AAA. Being in pace for 225,054 walks over a full major league season doesn't even cut it in 3 true outcome ERA. Okay. Now the 2-2 pitch. Hit on up the middle and picked up there by Marte on a line for the first out of the inning. So Ivan Herrera lines out to second for the first out here in the top of the fourth inning. Very long at bat. Now here's Alec Burleson. He's 0 for 1. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Anthony, we need a bid inning before it is out of reach. You got that right. The first pitch of Burleson. A changeup down and away, ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0. Burleson hitting .272, 15 home runs. The 1-0 pitch. A changeup down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. There we are. Nobody on with 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning. Coming winds fought. The 2-0. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-0. Now the 3-0 offering. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway, and the count is 3-1. He winds, he deals, hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. So a 1-out single to right there by Alec Burleson, and the Cardinals have a runner on first with 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning. Finally showing a little offensive life there. Now here comes Jordan Alexander Walker, the home run derby champion for 2026 out in Philly. He's 0 for 1 this afternoon. Runner leads off first with 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning. 4-0 Arizona. From the stretch is fought. The first pitch to Walker. Strike, sinker down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. From the stretch is fought. Runner leads off first. It's an 0-1 count. He deals. Fouled straight back on the sinker on the outer third, and the count is 0-2 to Jordan Walker. He gets into the box. Runner leads off first. It's an 0-2 count. So Walker's playing defense here Common sense fought. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. Take a drink. He gets back into the box. Runner leads off first. It's an 0-2 count. Fought briefly looks over there towards first. He comes set at the letters. He holds. He deals. A sinker down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. So this is very, very part and parcel, generally, how the league has been going after Walker. They always try to get him unstuffed down and away. And it's not really a huge surprise either, because he has been having trouble laying off it. Falk comes set. The 1-2. Hit down there to third base. Played on a hop there by Arenado. He throws to first just in time to get Walker going down the line for the second out of the inning. Moving down to second on the play is Alec Burleson, and the Cardinals have a runner on second with 2 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Now here comes Lars Nootbaar. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Coming set is fought. Newt's 0 for 1. Here's the first pitch. Strike. A breaking ball on the inside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Nootbaar hitting .257, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs in 33 games. From the stretch is fought. Runner leads off second. He holds. Keeps staring down Burleson. He deals. Strike, four-seam fastball dotted on the outside corner, thigh high to Nootbaar, and the count is 0-2. Now he sets the 0-2 pitch. A sweeper just misses the outside corner and ruled a ball, and the count is 1-2. He gets back into the box. Runner leads off second with 2 out. It is a 4-0 Arizona lead. Now the 1-2 pitch. A changeup down and away and out of the zone. Laying off that one is Nootbaar, and the count comes even at 2-2. Sokomo. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been? From the stretch is fought. He deals. Foul down the third base side and out of play. Spoiling that changeup down and away is Nootbaar. Yeah, Joe, brother Joe, that has been the order of the day so far, no doubt. So a runner on second with 2 out here in the top of the 4th inning. 4-0 Arizona. It's a 2-2 count to Nootbaar. Back onto the bump is fought. This will be his 54th pitch. He sets at the letters. He deals. There's a fly ball out to center field. Going back a couple steps is the center fielder. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the 3rd and final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no walks, and 1 left on. After 3.5 innings of play, it is 4-0 Diamondbacks going to the bottom of the 4th inning. I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Sokomo, awful pitching and catching today from May and Pies. Yeah, Soko, they have not been good. And you expect more from Pies because the only reason he's in there is for his defense. I mean, granted, he's still hitting better than Jimmy Crooks overall, but that's a problem in and of itself. Like I said, the 3 catchers on the roster, I guess maybe 2.5 really with Herrera, it's just not a functional roster design. It really isn't. Let's see. Roger Baseman. Yeah, the battery needs a battery. I like the wordplay there, Roger. I really do. Sokomo. Fought isn't very good. Have to do better. Yeah, the guy has an ERA over 5, and he pitches particularly poorly at Chase Field on top of that.
You know, as the old saying goes in Yankee land, that's baseball, Susan. That's about the best way I can describe it. That and the Cardinals generally are very, very productive when it comes to hitting on the road. So, you tell me, folks. You tell me. I think the Flying Dutchman would be perfect for 7th and 8th inning reliever. Well, now that is thinking outside of the box, Brother Joe. It really is. Where he could just absolutely, empty it out for a good full inning or two. It's an interesting thought. Now, due up for the D-backs here in the bottom of the 4th inning is McCann, Waldschmidt, and Marte, 8, 9, and 1. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch, McCann. Strike, four-seam fastball down and away, and the count is 0-1. Might be worth trying. I would be very curious, but I doubt Ollie Marmol is that courageous. Coming wind is May, the 0-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the sinker down and in, and the count is 0-2. I mean, such things are not unheard of course. There's also, of course, the old adage that all relievers are failed starters. So that's a thought. May comes to the full wind. The Dutchman deals. Swinging strike, 3, down, Hackett, he goes for the first out of the inning. And boy, McCann did nothing but favors on that one. Guten Morgen, guten Nacht, mitten, and guten Nacht for McCann. Now, here comes the 9-hitter, Waldschmidt, righty-righty matchup. Now, here's the first pitch. Strike, a sinker on the outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. May comes to the full wind. He deals. A sweeper well out and away and over the left of batter's box, and the count is 1-1. Waldschmidt's 0 for 1 with a strikeout this afternoon. Nobody on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 4-0 Arizona. May winds. May deals. Hit on out there into right center field and in for a base hit. And it splits the outfielders, goes all the way to the wall. Chugging into second there is Waldschmidt. And he has himself a stand-up 1-out double here in the bottom of the 4th inning. No, that one he went the other way. Split the outfielders, went all the way to the wall. I think he knew from the second at contact that was going to be a stand-up double. So the Diamondbacks have a runner on second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now back to the top of the order with Marte. Righty-lefty matchup. Marte is 1 for 1 with a walk. Runner at second with 1 out. From the stretch is May. The first pitch to Marte. Well up and away, a sweeper out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Marte, 1 for 1, a walk, a single, and a run scored. Runner leads off second. From the stretch is May. He sets at the belt. He deals. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball on the inside corner, and the count is 1-1. Justin Beasley. Everyone has to be sure to drop a like. Would be nice to get to 150 again. That would be fantastic, Justin. I'm all for that idea. It's a 1-1 count. Runner leads off second. May sets. The 1-1 offering. Hit on out there in the left field and in for a base hit. Playing it on a hop is Newpar. Coming around is Waldschmidt from second. The throw to home is cut off. And it is an RBI double for Marte. And that will give Arizona a 5-0 lead. So basically, he hit a fly ball out there into left field. Fell in front of Newpar. Newt throw home on the play. It was cut off in the middle of the infield. Marte then ended up advancing to second. And now the Diamondbacks once again have a runner on second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 already in. It is a 5-0 Arizona lead. 62 pitches for May. Now, here's the lefty hitting shortstop pair. Domo is 0 for 1. Righty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off second. He sets at the belt. He deals a four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Anthony, time for Dustin to hit the showers. He ain't far away, I can tell you that. May comes set at the stretch. He deals. Foul tipped on the cutter in, and the count is 1-1. Fouled it off his foot, did Perdomo. And you know, it's funny, every time I say Perdomo's name, I'm reminded of one of my favorite cigar companies. Now, I do not encourage smoking, but hey, I love me a good cigar. From the stretch is May. Runner leads off second. He deals. Hit on out there into shallow left field. Coming in is Newbar. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Staying right there at second is Marte. So now the Diamondbacks have a runner on second with 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They have pushed 1 across here so far. Now here's the lefty Carroll, who's 0 for 2. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Runner on second with 2 out. 5-0 Arizona in the bottom of the 4th inning. 65 pitches there for May. He's from the stretch. The first pitch to Carroll. Strike, cutter on the inside corner below the belt, and the count is 0-1. You have to imagine one way or another this is May's final frame. I can't imagine they'd send him out. He comes set. The 0-1. A four-seam fastball on the outer third just a bit too high, and the count is 1-1. Like the president, I did an inhale. Oh, we are of an age, Brother Joe. He comes set. The 1-1 offering. A curveball misses the outside corner, and the count is 2-1. Yeah, remember that whole charade? We don't get into politics here, but it's just one of those cultural moments. It's like, okay, man. However you want to explain it away. It's a 2-1 count. Coming set at the belt. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled off his foot. Did Carroll on the cutter in, and the count is 2-2. Delta leader. Good evening, Paul and Chet. Hope everyone is having a good Saturday. I can't complain, but the Cardinals have certainly had better days. It's a 2-2 count here to Carroll with a runner on second with 2 out, bottom of the 4th inning. 5-0 Arizona. 1 already across here in the bottom of the 4th. He sets at the belt. The pitch. Well up and away on the four-seam fastball, nowhere near the zone. And the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we got ourselves a full count here with the runner on second. Ollie Marmol, the Sphinx there at the top step of the dugout. May comes set at the stretch. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 on the sweeper on the outside corner just misses. And now there are runners on first and second with 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So May just can't seem to get out of his own way here. And boy, it has not been easy to watch, to say the least. That one was ridiculously close. In fact, to some degree, I'm surprised Pages did not go and try and challenge that. But c'est la vie. Runners on first and second with 2 out. Now here's the righty cleanup hitter Moreno. He's 2 for 2. Here's the pitch. A sinker inside out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Gabriel Moreno, 310, 6 home runs, 32 RBIs in 70 games. Runners lead off first and second. From the stretch is May, the 1-0 pitch. Strike, sinker right down Broadway, and the count is 1-1. Moreno gets back into the box, and May gets back onto the bump. He steps off the rubber, trying to get on the same page with Pages. Usually when something like this happens, it is never indicative of anything positive, if we're being perfectly honest with ourselves on that one. It's a 1-1 count. From the stretch is May. The 1-1 offering. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the cutter up. And the count is 1-2. Did I make it back home, Paul? Yes, I did, Delta Leader. We are in the middle of a project here, to say the least. I'll get into the rest in a moment. Runners on first and second with 2 out. Bottom of the 4th inning. 5-0 Arizona. 1 already in. It's a 1-2 count. May comes set at the belt. The pitch. Hit on out there to right field. Over a few steps to his right is Jordan Walker. He makes the catch for the 3rd and final out of the inning. However, Arizona, they tack on 1 more. And we go to the top of the 5th inning. It is 5-0 Diamondbacks. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. All right, let's go to the chat. Let me tell you the story. So, am I back home? Yes. As you know, we recently moved, and I just had to be on the road, so that complicates matters, certainly. And I'm sitting here in the new studio space. And before we began today, I was able to get most of the acoustic treatment up in here. So like the bass traps I have surrounded here. You barely ever see them when I'm on screen, and that's very much by design. And a lot of that's just to get rid of environmental reverb, echo, that kind of thing. That stuff drives me nuts. Anyway, and so in order to get this stream off on time, I had to revert back to my laptop, which of course I have been using. I'm watching the game on my wife's iPad, and I'm using this Shure dual USB XLR dynamic microphone, which is loosely based on the SM7B. And that's basically what I needed to get it through, and the rest of the sound design is pretty much on autopilot inside the laptop, thankfully. So that's one of the reasons I was running behind. But needless to say, it has quite an effort just getting to this point today. Getting stuff moved around and all that fun stuff. Who's going to pitch in the 5th? Anybody that can eat innings, Brother Joe. That would be my answer to that question. Yeah, exactly, Delta Leader. You hear the move, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So does everybody else here. All right, we are back for the top of the 5th inning. Due up for the Redbirds here in the top of the 5th is we have Wynn, Church, and Fairmean. So 6, 7, and 8 in the Cardinal order. Fought is back out for his 5th frame. He comes wide, the first pitch. And ducking out of the way on the four-seam fastball well up and in is Mason Wynn. I don't know if it got a piece of him. He's getting pointed down towards first, and Mason Wynn, you can tell by the look on his face, is somewhere between completely shook up and actually quite pissed. It didn't get him on the head. It looked like it got the very front edge of the brim of the helmet there, and so it looks like he has been pointed down towards first, and indeed he was. So a hit by pitch there for Fought, and now Mason Wynn is on first with a leadoff hit by pitch here in the top of the 5th inning. All right. And yeah, we're seeing the replay here. And boy, it just like skirted that front rim of the helmet. Now, here's Nate Church, righty-lefty matchup. Hit to the right side, picked up by Marte. He throws to second one, on to first, and he beat the throw to first. So Nate Church reaches on the fielder's choice. He manages to stay out of the double play. However, Mason Wynn is erased on the play with the force at second. And the Cardinals still have a runner on first now with 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Now here comes Jose Fairmean. He's 0 for 1. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Common set is Fought from the stretch. The first pitch of Fairmean. A sweeper down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Fairmean's hitting .264, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs in 61 games. Think about how much of a revelation this dude has been this year. I mean, he has been good everywhere they put him. From the stretch is fought, the 1-0 pitch. A changeup down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. I mean, just the professionalism to be able to prepare essentially at every position except for pitcher and catcher. It's outstanding. Runner leads off first as a 2-0 count. Fought is from the stretch. He deals. And there's a fly ball out to left field. Moving over a couple steps is Kepler. He's underneath it in front of the track. He pulls it in for the second out of the inning. And off the bat there of Jose Fairmean, it looked like he might have gotten a little bit more of it than he actually did, but he flies out 7 for the second out. Now here's Pedro Paez. He's 0 for 1. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Runner leads off first with 2 out. From the stretch is fought. The first pitch to Paez. A sweeper down the way. Did he go around? No, says Blue down the first baseline. And the count is 1-0. From the stretch is fought. He deals. Fouled straight back of the four-seam fastball, and the count is 1-1. Hey, Rush Dash, how's it going? Back into the box is Paez. Runner leads off first with 2 out. From the stretch is fought. The 1-1 pitch. Check swing on the sweeper down and away. Did he go around? Yes, says the home plate umpire. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brother Joe, it's like 98 here. Yeah, it's really oppressive in Missouri at the moment. Stepping off the rubber there is fought. Try to get on the same page as his battery mate. He gets back onto the bump. Holy shit. Now, the 1-2. Foul down the third base side and out of play. The count is 1-2. Excuse my language there. Something just fell off the wall behind me. And needless to say, it scared me to death. It was a base trap. Luckily, it didn't get me on the head. Oh, boy. My apologies, folks. I'm glad that didn't get caught on camera. It's a 1-2 count. From the stretch is fought. The 1-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball misses up and away, and the count is 2-2. Newhouse can be dangerous sometimes. Sometimes. Let's put it this way. I'm glad that base trap missed me when it fell off the wall. From the stretch is fought. The 2-2. Chop foul down the third base side and out of play. Oh, I don't know what ghost would be concerned with my activities. I don't play games with the deceased. That much is sure. I honor the honored dead. Common set is fought. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the sinker down Broadway for the third and final out of the inning. So, nothing doing for the Cardinals in the top of the 5th inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Ghosts are Cubs fans? Maybe. I don't know why they'd be coming after me. I'd have to think there were far better targets than yours truly. Anthony, 90 here in South Dakota. Wish the Cards would get this hot. You and me both, Anthony. Snack Squatch, Newhouse equals Final Destination. Well, we shall see. We shall see. We shall definitely see. But no, anytime something falls off the wall like that, luckily the wall's okay, and the base trap is okay, and I'm in one piece. So due up for the D-backs in the bottom of the 5th inning is Kepler, Arenado, and Tawa. So 5, 6, 7 in the Arizona order. Kepler is 1 for 1 with a walk. And, of course, Arenado 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. He's doing his thing. Justin Beasley. Paul's new house is haunted. Oh, geez. Yeah. I don't think it would be Cubs fans going after me. I'm virtually certain it would be Red Sox fans. But even then. All right. Joe Brady, you don't have to. Your life is worth the living. I completely concur with that, brother Joe. Justin Beasley is probably the ghost of Dustin May's complete game shutout he had a couple of months ago. Hey, I think that was only a month ago, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's been really something. The Red Sox with that 11-game streak. They had to win sometime. Now, come and wind is Dustin May. The first pitch of Kepler. A curveball down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. So I think the message here from Ollie Marmol is, give me innings as a warm body. I think is basically where it's at. Now, the 1-0 pitch. Hit foul down the third base side, giving chase with fair mean, but it goes several rows deep, and the count is 1-1. I never thought you would get a hit by pitch at home. My big go-kart is all messed up. I love it. Righty-lefty matchup. Kepler's 0 for 1. Coming to the full wind is the Dutchman. The 1-1 pitch. A cutter down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. Yeah, it's been one of those days. I'm surprised it's gone as well as it has, honestly. May looks in. He comes motion. The 2-1. A check swing on the cutter down and in. Did he go around? Yes, says Blue down the third baseline. And the count is even at 2-2. So nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth inning. 5-0 Arizona. May looks in. He comes motion. The 2-2 offering. Hit down the left field line and just slices foul on the sweeper away. Woof. No rest for the weary. It's a 2-2 count. May looks in. He winds. He deals. Hit down the right field line and it slices just foul. It's basically the same contact he made down the left field line, just on the other side. The things you see when you're watching basically every pitch of a season. Hayden, Dustin May is so inconsistent. He really is. Good to see you, Hayden. May comes wind. The 2-2 offering. Foul tipped on the cutter down and in, and the count remains 2-2. All right, let's see. He's a red-beard Viking, but needs to settle his butt down. Pardon my French. It's cool, brother Joe. Now, the 2-2 pitch to Kepler. Foul tipped on the sweeper down and in. The count remains 2-2. Next pitch is going to be the 84th this afternoon for Dustin May. Kepler gets back into the box. May looks in. Long time between that bat. Home plate umpire very generous with the time. Coming winds May. The 2-2. A four-seam fastball well up and away and out of the zone. The count is full, 3-2. So on the broadcast there, they were focusing in on a fan who was wearing the classic Diamondback vest with the pinstripes and the purple sleeves and the whole 2001 World Series getup. Coming winds May, the 3-2 pitch. Swinging strike three. Down, hacking goes Kepler for the first out of the inning. So it appeared to be a sweeper down and in, maybe a cutter. He swung over the top of that one for the first out. Really something to behold. I can assure you, I still have vivid memories from Game 7 of the 2001 World Series. Now, here's Nolan Arenado, righty-righty matchup. Nobody on with one out. The first pitch. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball on the outside corner. And the count is 0-1. Nolan Arenado, 2 for 2 with a double and couple of RBIs for the former Cardinal and Rocky. Coming ones, May, the 0-1 Arenado. Strike, sinker on the inner third above the knees, and the count is 0-2. Yeah, at this point, he's very much eating innings, no doubt. Coming winds, May, the 0-2 offering. A sweeper down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So tomorrow afternoon, the probable pitcher for the Redbirds is Andre Pallante. There's definitely a debate there who's been the number 1 starter between McGreevy and Pallante. And it's a good debate to have in some ways. May comes wind. The 1-2 offering. A sinker just misses the outside corner away, and the count is 2-2. Because they both are evolving into better versions of themselves. But of course, for the Cardinals, they could really use a true number 1 dominant at the top of the rotation. Now, the 2-2 offering. A sweeper down and away and over the lefty batter's box, and the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So nobody on with 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. 5-0 Arizona. The righty Matt Swanson getting hot down there in the Cardinal bullpen. It's a full count. May was checking out something in his glove there. Don't ask me what. He comes wide. The 3-2 to Arenado. There's a fly ball out to left field. Right there is Newpart. Barely needs to move. He squeezes it for the second out of the inning. So, Nolan Arenado flies out 7. And speak of the devil, they're showing Andre Pallante featuring him for tomorrow night. Rather, tomorrow afternoon. Getting a sixth sense about this. Alrighty. Now, coming up to the plate is the righty Tawa. Righty-righty matchup, the first pitch from May. A sweeper down and away and over the lefty batter's box, and the count is 1-0. Just challenge him, he'll pop it up. I'm all about attacking the strike zone, Soko. Tawa is 0 for 2. Coming wide, the 1-0. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball, up and in, and the count is 1-1. Hayden, if we don't come back, then I hope we win the series tomorrow. McGreevy and Pallante are good. They've really come forward as something special this year, and that is wonderful to see. Now, coming winds, May, the pitch. Hit foul down the first base side. Giving chase is Burleson with the mighty amount of foul territory out there at Chase, but it goes into the stands, and the count is 1-2. Keyboard hates me. It's all right, Brother Joe. It doesn't like me much either. We're in good company. Infield defense playing straight away and back. May comes motion. The 1-2. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone, and the count is 2-2. You know, when I think about the Cardinals and what they can do to build this team going forward, talk more about this in a moment. May takes a deep breath. He winds. He deals. A four-seam fastball just misses the outside corner, and the count is full, 3-2. Now, I don't know who it'd be for, and I'm not making any suggestions. But they do have some highly valued pieces. And in the offseason, it would be great if they could acquire somebody that is young and still has some controllable years left. The 3-2 pitch. Foul tipped on the four-seam fastball up and in. The count remains 3-2. Because that's the greatest currency in baseball, right? Is major league ready talent with controllable years, especially if they're a pitcher. May takes the deep breath. He winds. The 3-2 pitch. Hit on out there into center field. Charging in is Nate Church. He picks it up on the line for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. We go to the top of the sixth inning. It is 5-0 Arizona. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right. Some pitchers want to strike out the batters. The Cardinals' defense is good, so just let the Diamondbacks do contact and get a chance at an out. You know, it's funny that you bring that up, John, because we're kind of in an interesting era of pitching philosophy right now where it's all about missing bats. And I've seen the statistics. I understand the case they're making. But here's the question I have for everybody watching, because I know you have all noticed this. Is the velocity for almost everybody seems to be in the high 90s now. And are they actually throwing faster, or is how they measure velocity somehow changed? And what I mean by that is the point in the pitch path in which they're taking the reading for the miles per hour. That's the thing I'm not entirely clear on, because all of a sudden, you know, every scrub out of the major leagues, out of the minor leagues, is throwing 97, 98, and I'm thinking to myself, I mean, has baseball changed really that much? That's the thing that's getting to me. Are they truly throwing harder? And that's a question I have not been, able to adequately answer. And I'm curious what you watching think about that. Let me know, because I'm curious what your thoughts are here. All right, we're here for the top of the sixth inning. Due up for the Cardinals is Weatherholt, Herrera, and Burleson, 1, 2, 3 in the St. Louis order. J.J. Weatherholt is 0 for 2 against Fought. 5-0 Diamondbacks here in the top of the sixth inning. Stepping into the box is Weatherholt. Harold Houseman, I think it is the placement of the gun. Yes, I totally believe that. Interesting. Now, Fought comes wide. The first pitch of J.J. Uncle Charlie strike down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. Nick, 83 likes, 125 people watching. Hit that like button, everybody. Fought comes wide. He deals a sweeper down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Joe Britting, I understand now, trade our Flying Dutchman. I'm sorry, but we could get somebody that can do better. I hope so. The 1-1 pitch. Hit on up the middle and through into center field for a leadoff single by J.J. Weatherholt. And the Cardinals have a runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the sixth inning. So, J.J. Weatherholt manages to get his first hit of the game. It was a breaking ball that was just right down the middle, about belt high. So now a runner on first with nobody out. Now here's Ivan Herrera. He's 0 for 2. It's a righty-righty matchup. Fought comes set at the letters. The first pitcher, Herrera. A cutter up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Rally caps. I hope so. Runner leads off first. Fought comes set. He deals. Strike, sinker right down Broadway, and the count is 1-1. Ivan Herrera hitting .244, 11 home runs, 41 RBIs in 96 games. Weatherholt leads off first. It's a 1-1 count. He deals. A cutter down and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. Back into the box is Herrera. 72 pitches so far for Fought. Cardinals are just looking for base runners here. From the stretch is Fought. The 2-1 offering. And he popped him right up there, right around second base. Calling for is Perdomo. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So a weak pop-up there, just in front of second. Catching that pop-up there is number 6, Perdomo, for the first out. Now here is Alec Burleson. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Burleson is 1 for 2 this afternoon. Jordan Walker is on deck. Runner on first with 1 out. From the stretch is fought. The first pitch to Burleson. A curveball misses on the outside corner, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. And something undoubtedly is that Burleson's average has definitely fallen off by about 15 points over the last 2 weeks. Coming set, fought. The 1-0 pitch. A cutter up and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Yeah, that caffeine. Yeah, they definitely need runners here. Coming set is fought. Weatheralt leads off first. Here's the 2-0 offering. Strike, sinker on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. No, they need base runners badly. And no better time like the present. Fought is back onto the bump. Here's a pitch. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit past the diving leap there by Marte. And now the Cardinals have runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. So a seeing eye single on a low line there by Alec Burleson to right. And the Cardinals have runners on first and second, 1 out for Jordan Walker. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Jordan Walker's 0 for 2 today. And, man, that just got underneath the glove there of Marte as he dove for the thing to his left. So, runners on first and second for the home run derby champion. Now there's a powwow out in the mound between Fought, the pitching coach, and the rest of the infield minus Arenado. Apparently, Nolan did not feel the need to be part of that discussion for reasons I am sure. Just say no, family. Joshua Baez just hit 29 home runs in AAA. He's an interesting case. 411 Shirley. Hey, sir. Howdy, Shirley. Good to see ya. All right, the powwow has been broken out. Stepping into the box is Jordan Alexander Walker. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. He's 0 for 2. From the stretch is Fought. The first pitch to Walker. Fouled straight back on the sinker away, and the count is 0-1. There we go. Walker gets back in the box. What's the likelihood he'll be granted time in this at-bat? We shall see. From the stretch is Fought. The 0-1 offering. Swinging strike on the sweeper, well down and away, and the count is 0-2. Jordan Walker did a huge favor to Fought there. That ball was not even remotely hittable, and that is them going after the hole in his approach. So it's an 0-2 count. Runners on first and second. From the stretch is Fought. Tom is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. Take a drink. Man, if you actually drunk alcohol every time I said that, did a shot, you'd be wasted so fast. Coming sets, Fought. The 0-2 pitch. A sweeper down and away and ruled a ball, and the count is 1-2. Runners lead off first and second with 1 out. It's a 1-2 count. Coming set is Fought. He deals. Hit on up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. Coming home is the runner, and he will score, and that'll be an RBI single for Jordan Walker, and that will cut it down to a 5-1 Arizona lead. So an RBI single by Jordan Walker, scoring J.J. Weatherall. And that one was nice seeing eye. He actually went down and away on the sweeper on that one, but that one hung up. He knew what to do with it. Scoring easily from second was J.J. Weatherall. And now runners on first and second with one out. One already in here for the Redbirds. They're trying to mount a comeback in the top of the sixth inning. Now here's Lars Newpar. He's 0 for 2. Righty-lefty matchup. Stepping off the rubber there is Fought. Try to get on the same page as McCann. Newpar's 0 for 2. He comes set. The first pitch to Newt. Well up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Jordan Walker put St. Louis on the map again this week, Soldier. You know what? I want to get back to that thought in a moment, Brother Joe. Come in set is Fought. The 1-0 pitch. A changeup down and in ruled a ball, and the count is 2-0. The righty Ryan Thompson getting hot down there in the Arizona bullpen. In fact, Jordan Walker, by winning that, has now become the national face of the Cardinals, and I couldn't think of a better one. From the stretch is Fought, the 2-0. Swinging strike on the sinker up and away, and the count is 2-1. And that's interesting. Hey, Trisk, like number 94. Let's get to 1100. A few more. Cheers to that, Trisk. It's a 2-1 count. The pitch. A changeup downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. So runners on first and second with one out here in the top of the sixth inning. 5-1 Arizona. One already in for the Cardinals. Lars Newpar is back into the box. This will be the 86th pitch for Fought. He comes set at the letters. He deals. Foul down the third base side and out of play on the sinker, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So, obviously, Jordan Walker put Cardinals on the map this year, and he's become the national face. You know, I wish it could also include Weatherholt because he was such a ridiculous snub. He's been one of the best second basemen in the game. Coming set, the 3-2 pitch. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Staying there at third is Burleson. It was way too weakly hit. And now with that single to right, the Cardinals have the bases loaded with one out here in the top of the sixth inning. And here comes Mason Wynn, the righty hitting shortstop for St. Louis. He is 1 for 1 this afternoon. The pond is full of ducks, Thurman. The pond is full of ducks. And it looks like Arizona is going to be going to the pen. So, Fought leaves this game with the bases loaded and one out in the top of the sixth inning. All of those runners on the pond are his responsibility. Oh, man, indeed, Hayden. Brother Joe, I need that 100 likes winning streak going. Let's go, man. Heck yeah, man. You know it. So we await the pitching change. Coming in relief of Fought, is Thompson. I'll give you his numbers in just a moment. All right. Ryan Thompson, the 34-year-old right-hander, in 38 games this year, he has a record of 4-2 with an ERA of 2.88. And that's through 34 1/3 innings pitched with 26 strikeouts and a whip of 1.25. So this will be fun. Due up here is Mason Wynn. Nate Church is on deck. The bases are loaded with one out. We await the end of this pitching change. Anthony, we're all thinking comeback in progress. Well, I sure hope so, Anthony. Let's not squander this. Yeah, you're reading my mind there, Hayden, no doubt. Brother Joe, when does game with one swing of the bat, Mason, you're due for a home run? Well, wouldn't that be something, right? He does represent the tying run. Keep the line moving. I like the way you think, Vaughn. Pass the baton. I'll take a double, young man. All righty. We are back here for the top of the sixth inning. Gave you the numbers just a moment ago on Thompson. And stepping into the box here shortly will be Mason Wynn. Apparently his ground ball percentage is 54.1% this year. It's a righty-righty matchup. Now here's the first pitch to Wynn. Strike, slider on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Now the thing about Thompson you got to realize here is that he's kind of a three-quarter sidearmer, and so that sweeper basically looks like a frisbee to the right-handed hitter. Now the 0-1. Fouled straight back on the slider, up and away, and the count is 0-2. And you can see the look on Mason Wynn's face there that was the pitch to hit. Burleson on third, Walker on second, Newbar at first. The pond is full of ducks, Thurman. And it's an 0-2 count to Mason Wynn. One already in here for the Cardinals, trying to add on a few more, try to cut down on that Diamondback lead here in the top of the sixth inning. Thompson, he comes set. Now the 0-2. Hit on up the middle. Played there by Perdomo. He tosses second one. On to first. There's no relay throw. The runner scores, and that will cut it down to a 5-2 Arizona lead. So there was what appears to be a fielder's choice. So no RBI there for Mason Wynn, but that does put runners on first and third with two out here in the top of the sixth inning. So 5-2, and now here comes Nate Church. He's 0 for 2. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. So they are just chipping away here at the Diamondbacks one bit at a time. Runners on first and third with two out, top of the sixth inning. Righty-lefty matchup here with Nate Church in the box. Coming set is Thompson. The first pitch. A slider well inside and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. So at that low three-quarters sidearm action there by Thompson, when he's basically primary slider, it seems to work off that almost entirely. He comes set. The 1-0 pitch. There goes the runner down towards second, and Mason Wynn steals it easily. And now the Cardinals have runners on second and third with two out. The pitch was ruled a strike, and it's 1-1. They didn't even manage to get off the throw. That is how quickly Mason Wynn was going, and clearly Thompson was napping on him. And McCain could barely get a handle on that thing. Now, here's the pitch. And it's swinging strike three. Did he get a piece of that? He got a piece of it, so the count remains 1-2 to Nate Church. Everything getting all messed up here. So runners on second and third with two out. It is a 1-2 count. Top of the sixth inning, 5-2 Arizona. Two already in here for the Cardinals. Up at the dish is Nate Church. He's trying to add a couple more here. Yeah, Brother Joe, that slider is everything for Thompson. Wynn at second. Walker at third. Coming sets Thompson. The 1-2 offering. A sinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-2. Now, Thompson at that low arm angle, and with, a sinker and a sweeper specifically, you're getting a lot of movement. Thompson comes set. The 2-2. Foul down the third baseline and out of play, and the count remains 2-2. So, the rally is in the hands of Nate Church here. The one-on-one battle with Thompson. Runners on second and third. Coming set is Thompson. He deals. And he popped it on out there into shallow left field. Underneath it is Perdomo. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. However, the Redbirds cut into that Diamondback lead. They push two across, and it is now 5-2 going to the bottom of the sixth inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right, so hey, you know what? They're going and they're chipping away, right? You love to get it all in one go, but they're chipping away. And, this Arizona bullpen is not out of this world. They can certainly make the comeback, but ultimately it's going to come down to a number of very important things, most notably and without question, the bullpen continuing and coming through here. I mean, I believe May is still technically the pitcher of record here at the moment. Let's see. All right, so Ollie is going to Gordon Graceffa, the 26-year-old right-hander. In 39 games this year, he's 6-1 with an ERA of 2.91 over 46 in the third innings pitch. 24 strikeouts in that span and a whip of 1.06. Graceffa will deal with McCann, Waldschmidt, and Marte, so 8-9-1 in the Arizona order. All right, let's see. Tough to leave two on base. Completely agree. It's not an easy pill to swallow. I like to pretend it is, but ultimately, if they're going to do it, they're going to have to chip away. That seems to be where we're going on this one. Let's not give up any more runs. From your mouth to God's ears, Hayden, as they like to say. Never leave men on base. It's always frustrating to watch, undoubtedly. So Jojo Romero, he had surgery, emergency surgery for appendicitis. He's on the 15-day shelf, so we'll see what happens with him. But one thing is for sure, he's probably not getting traded at the deadline. All right, now here's Gordon Graceffa. Gave you his numbers just a moment ago. He will face 8-9-1 in the Arizona order. First up is the righty McCann. The first pitch. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Fair enough, Hayden. Now, he comes set at the Birds. The 1-0 pitch. Strike, sinker, right down Broadway from Graceffa, and the count is 1-1. McCann is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Graceffa sets the 1-1 pitch. Strike, a slider on the outside corner below the belt, and the count is 1-2 strikes. So Graceffa's got to try and keep him right here. Back into the box is McCann. Graceffa sets at the Birds, the 1-2. A slider bounces out in the lefty batter's box, goes rolling over there toward the home on deck circle, and the count is 2-2. So the final line for Dustin May this afternoon, 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. Those 4 walks tell a lot. Graceffa sets at the Birds, a 2-2 pitch. Swinging, strike 3, down, hacking goes McCann for the first out of the inning. So Graceffa comes in here in relief of May, gets the strikeout for the first out. Now, here is Waldschmidt, the center fielder. He is 1 for 2 with a run scored this afternoon. Cummins sets Graceffa, the first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball down and away, and the count is 0-1. Ryan Waldschmidt, 254, no home runs, 9 RBIs in 35 games. It's a righty-righty matchup. Nobody on with 1 out. Cummins sets Graceffa, the 0-1 pitch. A sinker down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Infield defense shaded towards the left side. Fermin playing even with the bag. Graceffa sets at the Birds. He deals. Strike, four-seam fastball on the outer third at the knees. And the count is 1-2. On deck is Marte, who's 1 for 2 himself. Graceffa looks in. He sets at the Birds. He deals. A slider bounces out there in front of home plate, and the count comes even at 2-2. Justin, I feel like no matter what happens the rest of the season, you have to consider it a success considering the Cardinals were not supposed to be good at all. There's a lot of wisdom in that. Coming says the Birds is Graceffo. The pitch. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play. The count remains 2-2. Brother Joe, Cardinals are never going to be out. Even when they call it a rebuild, we still run because we're a dynasty team. That's it. That's all. I like the confidence there, Brother Joe. We're in the hunt for that number 12. Know this. That I like. Now, the 2-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Waldschmidt for the second out of the inning. So Gordon Graceffo coming in, getting a pair of strikeouts hacking there. Now back to the top of the order with the second baseman, the lefty Marte. Now the first pitch. A changeup down and in and out of the zone. And the count is 1-0. Marte is 2 for 2. Nobody on with 2 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. 5-2 Arizona. Graceffo sets the 1-0 pitch. Pop foul on the slider down and in. And the count is 1-1. So right now, Gordon Graceffo just going in there, attacking the zone. Some good at-bats despite the strikeouts there from 8 and 9 in the Diamondback order. But Graceffo has come out on top so far. Graceffo set the Birds. The 1-1 offering. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by Weather on the ground. He throws to first in time for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, and nobody left on. The Diamondbacks, they go down in order. We head to the top of the 7th inning. 5-2 Arizona. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike, and you haven't already done so, please do leave a like. It is really helping this channel continue to grow and get out there to more Cardinal fans who right now are having a lot of trouble watching and following for the Cardinals every single day. I stream almost every Cardinal game. I'll italicize almost. Life does get in the way, as we have learned. And if you like what you see and you're enjoying yourself and you're not already subscribed, hit subscribe. This is a great growing community and we have a ton of fun. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 5-2 Arizona going to the top of the 7th inning. We're getting that number 12. Beautiful percentage by our pitcher right now. You know, let's see here. Graceffo throwing the heat. Absolutely. So, I was talking about this maybe a week and a half ago when some of the all-star selections were coming in, and there were a clear few snubs, Weatherhall included. They ended up getting 3 overall. However, you know, and this is the thing I pointed out at the time, and Brother Joe, you're kind of echoing this in your own way here, but, and this is very much what I like to call, you know, obviously growing up as a Yankees fan, there's a definitive influence of George Steinbrenner in one way in particular, is that at the end of the day, the only thing that matters are the rings. And for the Cardinals, certainly at that point in time, relative to that situation, they don't play for all-star selections. They don't play for Gold Gloves, Silver Slugger Awards, or even MVPs. The Redbirds play for rings. And I think that is a confidence that every Cardinal fan should take with them in their own very classy way, of course. All right, we are back here for the top of the 7th inning. Due up is Fermin, Pages, and Weatherall, 8, 9, and 1 in the Cardinal order. Now, the Diamondbacks have gone to the pen. Jonathan Loaisiga, the 31-year-old right-hander, in 40 games, 2-2 with a 2.17 and 37 in the 3rd innings pitch. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch of Fermin. Strike, sinker on the outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Fermin is 0 for 2. He gets into the box. Righty-righty matchup. Common sense, Loaisiga. The 0-1 pitch. Strike, sinker on the outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-2. Now, the gentleman that's on the mound right now, Originally came up with the Yankees, and he's quite good. His issue has always been injuries, through and through. It's an 0-2 count. Loizaga sets the 0-2 pitch. A curveball down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2 to Fairmean. It's just ball, but it is a fantastic idea. Hey, I believe they should do it. If you're going to play big. Loizaga sets the 1-2 offering. Fouled off the curveball down and away. Staying alive is Fairmean. Brother Joe, just know the stadium had the best hot dogs with the baked beans on it. Don't even flex with all the trimming so good. Brother Paul, rings are key. You know it. Common set is Loizaga, the 1-2. Foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count remains 1-2. Jimmy, love your broadcast. Lived in Holland 5 years. Been a St. Louis fan for 60 years. Well, thank you so much, Joe. I really do appreciate it. Loizaga sets the 1-2 offering. A curveball down and away and out of the zone over the lefty batter's box, and the count comes even 2-2 to Fairmean. Well, Jimmy, that means the world to me, and thank you for making yourself known. When I read things like that, it's really motivating. Loizaga sets. He deals. A changeup down and away and out of the zone, and the count comes full, 3-2. So Fairmean has really battled in this at-bat, coming back down in the count. Infield defense playing straight away and back. It's a full count. Loizaga sets. The 3-2 pitch. Chop foul down the third base side and out of play, and the count remains 3-2. 8 pitches so far in this at-bat to Fairmean. Talk about working the pitcher. 5-2 Arizona, top of the 7th inning. Nobody on, nobody out. Common sense, Loizaga. The 3-2 pitch. Check swing on the sinker in. Did he go around? No, says Blue down the first baseline. And Jose Fairmean works a leadoff walk here in the top of the 7th inning. And the Cardinals have a runner on first with nobody out. Now, coming in pinch hitting here for Pedro Pajes is Brian Torres. So presumably that means that Jimmy Crooks will come in as the defensive replacement in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. So the pinch hitter here by way of Brian Torres against Loizaga. Runner on first following the leadoff walk. Loizaga sets. He's at the stretch. He holds the first pitch to Torres. Hit on out there in the center field. Going back is the center fielder underneath it in front of the track. He hauls it in for the first out of the inning. So Brian Torres on that one gave it a ride, but to the wrong part of the ballpark, and that's the first out of the inning. Now here comes J.J. Weatherall. He is 1 for 3. Runner on first with 1 out, top of the 7th inning, 5-2 Arizona. Weatherall in his last at-bat had himself a single. He came around and scored. He was very central to that rally. Loizaga sets the first pitch to Weatherall. Hit to the left side and into left field for a base hit. Staying there at second is Fairmean. And now runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. With the infield defense clearly shaded towards right with the lefty Weatherall. Nolan Arenado could not get over in time when Weatherall went the other way. Hit the ball only maybe about 5 feet to the right of third. And he didn't have a chance. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Now here comes Ivan Herrera. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. They're looking to keep chipping away. John Wilms with the $10 super chat. Adding to your balance for the dinner on the hill. This is also from the community as a tribute to you, your wife, and everyone helping you out in the games. John, thank you so much. There's a little bit of a powwow going out on their mound between the catcher and Loizaga, and I believe the pitching coach. No, John, that means the world to me. And I can tell you this, my wife very much appreciates it because she watches these streams. And she knows you guys are, in addition to the fact that she has played color commentary and coordinator for the chat about a month ago. She'll do that again if you guys are interested. Now, here's Ivan Herrera. He's 0 for 3. Righty-righty matchup. Loaiza sets. Runners on first and second with one out. The first pitcher, Herrera. A sinker up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. No, John, that means the world to me. Heck, I wish I could use that money to take you all out to dinner on the hill. Common sense, Loaiza, the 1-0 pitch. Strike, sinker on the inner third below the belt, and the count is 1-1. No doubt that is not exactly where he wanted to put the sinker. I don't know what that says about Loaiza at the moment, but we shall see. He comes set. Runners lead. He deals. Strike, sinker on the outer third above the knees, and the count is 1-2 to Herrera. Brother Joe, it's what he came up with. He's original fare from New York. He decided to the Cardinals because he likes them and his wife likes them, and that's all. It's an interesting story how he came into all of this, to be sure. Common sense, Loaiza. The 1-2 offering. Swinging strike 3 on the sinker, down and away for the second out of the inning. So a crucial strikeout there by Loaiza, getting Herrera hacking for the second out. And that was a good sinker, very well placed. Now due up here is Alec Burleson, and it looks like Arizona is going to be going to the pen. Garcia is coming into the game for the D-backs. Brandon Garcia, the 26-year-old left-hander, in 29 games this year, he has an 0-1 record and an ERA of 1.85 over 24 and a third innings pitch, 28 strikeouts in that span, and a whip of 0.74. Those are some pretty serious numbers, and they are clearly going to the left-hander to try and neutralize Burleson, and that's something we're seeing more and more as the season goes on. Hopefully Burleson can pull through on this, but we'll see. All right, let's see here. Aiden. Just got Mama's on the Hill for lunch today. Best Italian food ever. The Hill is outstanding. It's every bit as good as Arthur Avenue in New York City. All right, let's see. Brother Joe, I remember on the Hill. That's Italian restaurants. Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts of St. Louis. John Williams. I think maybe we should put up a 5 spot now. Well, I'd definitely take that. Justin Beasley. Bombers game Mike meet up at the Hill. I would do that in a hot second. No question. I would love to meet all of you in person. And I'd like to think that's something we can pull off before this season is over. I know not everybody is local here, but at the very least, some of us are. And, you know, we can pull in people through FaceTime and Google Meet, you know, whatever is necessary to make it happen. If I was closer, you know I'd be there. Man, Justin, if you were there, you'd be trying to coordinate the thing. No, you've been great, man. I mean, seriously, thank you so much. Now, here's Alec Burleson. He's going to face the tough left-hander Garcia here with runners on first and second with 2 out here in the top of 7th inning, trying to get back into this ball game. He's 2 for 3 this afternoon. Coming sets Garcia, the first pitch. A sinker strike outside quarter below the belt, and the count is 0-1 to Alec Burleson. Gave you the numbers on Garcia just a moment ago. Runners lead off first and second with 2 out. It's an 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hit out there in the right field. Coming in is the right fielder. He catches it on a line for the third and final out of the inning. So the Cardinals threaten, but they can't get any across. And it's 7th inning stretch time out at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. No, a meetup, I think, is almost mandatory at this point. All right, let's go to the chat. Let's see what's happening here, guys. All right. Well, John Wilms. Oh, baseball trivia. I'll come back to the moment. Let's see here. Brother Joe, if we ever do that, I got 6 of you with the bill. No problem. I love it. Justin, it's all good, Brother Joe. Your comments crack me up. Yeah, Joe definitely has a way with words, that's for sure. Brother Joe, I really need to write better. Because apparently when Paul D reads my comments, it sounds like trash. No, it doesn't sound like trash. Dude, have you ever seen how people write? Man, you are in like the 90th percentile. You don't have anything to worry about there. J.M. Jones, good to see ya. Hill Rules, miss the old neighborhood. It's a great place. So Como has to counter with Velasquez. Yeah, I see the thinking there. Assuming the Hill in St. Louis. Yeah, absolutely. J.M. Jones, hey all, and welcome back, Paul. Hope your wife is doing well. Didn't know you were back in here. The crew tube isn't giving me notifications. Well, that's weird. That you're back and alive. Enjoyed the color call with Mrs. Game Mike. She enjoyed doing it too. We'll see if we can set something up. All right, we are back here for the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-2 Arizona. Due up is Perdomo, Carroll, and Moreno. Coming in for the Cardinals is the lefty Justin Brewell. In 46 2/3 innings pitch, he has an ERA of 3.66 and a whip of 1.37 in 42 games. He's going to come in to face the lefty Perdomo and Carroll. Switching over to the right is Perdomo, and here's the pitch. Strike, fastball down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. Of course, Perdomo is a switch hitter, so he's hitting from the right side. Lefty-righty matchup. It's an 0-1 count. Brewell sets the 0-1 pitch. A sweeper down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. The Del Mar Loop. I love the Loop. Great place. Brewell comes set. The 1-1 offering. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. All right. Brother Joe, if I make you laugh, JB, I did my job. Yeah, absolutely. It's a 2-1 count. Back into the box is Perdomo hitting from the right side. Brewell comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Hit foul down the third baseline and out of play, and the count comes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So, bottom of the 7th inning, nobody on, nobody out. 5-2 Arizona. Perdomo's 0 for 2 with a walk. Lefty Brewell, he comes set just above the belt. He deals. There's a fly ball out into right center field. Coming over a few steps is Jordan Walker. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Perdomo flies out 9 for the first out. Now here comes Carroll. Corbin Carroll, the left-hander, is 0 for 2 today with a walk and a strikeout. Nobody on with 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. 5-2 Arizona. The first pitch from Brewell. Strike, sinker on the outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Coming sets, Brewell. He deals. Hit foul on a check swing there, down toward third, and the count is 0-2. Looks like the righty Matt Svanson getting loose up there in the Cardinal pen. Indeed he is. Now, Brewell comes set. He's ahead in the count 0-2. The 0-2 to Carroll. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by Burleson. Tosses to Brewell covering. And he just beats Carroll to the bag at first for the second out of the inning. So, Carroll bounces out 3-1 for the second out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now, here comes the DH, Moreno. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. Moreno at DH getting a half day off. He ain't catching. He's 2 for 3 this afternoon. Nobody on with 2 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Brewell comes set. The first pitch to Moreno. A changeup down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. After the game here, I'm actually going to be ordering from Steve's Hot Dogs, which I'm really looking forward to. The original location's in Tower Grove, but they also have one near the Chesterfield Airport. Really good hot dog place. Really like it a lot. It's a 1-0 count. Brewell sets above the belt. The 1-0 offering. A sweeper just low on the outer third, and the count is 2-0. Nobody on with 2 out, bottom of the 7th inning, 5-2 Arizona. It's a 2-0 count. Brewell sets above the belt. The 2-0 offering. A sweeper just misses the outside corner, and the count is 3-0. I don't know if anybody out there watching or listening right now has been to Steve's here in the St. Louis area, but it's excellent. Infield defense slightly shaded towards left with the righty Moreno. They're all playing back. Now the 3-0 pitch. Strike. A sinker on the inner third at the knees, and the count is 3-1. John, if we get 2 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th, and we hold them, we will win. No arguing with that math. It's a 3-1 count. Brewell sets the 3-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the sweeper, down and away, and the count is full, 3-2. So Brewell fighting his way back here against Moreno, the cleanup hitter for Arizona this afternoon. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Moreno. Never been, but want to go to Steve's. Yeah, very good stuff. Justin Beasley, Bombers Game Mike, sponsored by Steve's Hot Dogs. I'd do that. Coming set, the 3-2 pitch. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count remains 3-2. Well, in that case, that would be a great sponsorship, because in that case, I'm a big fan of theirs anyway. It wouldn't be hard to sell. I'm not just their sponsor, I'm their biggest customer. Brewell comes set above the belt. The 3-2 pitch. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count remains 3-2. Throw strikes. It's all you can do. It's all you can do. Moreno gets back in the box. Nobody on with 2 out, bottom of the 7th inning, 5-2 Arizona. It's a full count. Brewell comes set above the belt. He deals. Ball 4 on the changeup, well up and away, so Moreno works a 2-out walk here, and the Diamondbacks have a runner on first with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Justin Beasley, Red Bull and Steve Hot Dogs, let's go. Yeah, seriously, Red Bull, if you're out there watching, unfortunately I can't look to camera with this one, but I promise to always have the product on display. Now here's the lefty Max Kepler, lefty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch from Brewell. A sweeper just misses the outside corner. The count is 1-0. So Moreno is on first with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning, 5-2 Arizona. It's a 1-0 count. 17 pitches so far for Brewell. Kepler is 0 for 2. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike, sweeper on the inside corner below the belt, and the count is 1-1. Brother Joe. Paulie D, sounds like you have been partying hard, brother. It's been a long time since then. The 1-1 pitch. Check swing, and it's called strike on the sinker on the outside corner, and the count is 1-2 to Kepler. Brian Fisher, Paulie D. Yeah, it's been fun. It's good to see you, Brian. Coming sets, Brewell. The 1-2 offering. Foul back on the sweeper away. The count remains 1-2. Brother Joe, you can get the same effect if you chew on a ginger. Okay. Back onto the bump is Brewell. Moreno leads off first. It's a 1-2 count. 2 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Coming sets, Brewell. The 1-2 offering. There's a fly ball out to shallow center field. Going back underneath it is Wynn. He calls for it. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, one walk, and one left on. After 7 full innings of play, it is 5-2 Diamondbacks going to the top of the 8th inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike this afternoon, and you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. That simple push of the button there on the YouTube interface does wonders to help this channel continue to grow and get pushed out there to more Cardinals fans that are having all the trouble in the world right now following the Redbirds every day. And I call almost every Cardinal game here on Game Mike and on YouTube. On top of that, if you like what you see and you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 5-2 Arizona going to the top of the 8th inning. We have just crossed 1,100 subscribers. First off, Justin, thank you for letting me know. And two, thank you so much, everybody that has subscribed to Game Mike. It's been an incredible journey because I'm not doing it alone. Every game I do here, I do on the back of your enthusiasm, your interest, your thoughtful insight, the fact you guys are so kind and respectful to each other. I know I'm inviting a random troll, but so be it. And you guys really do pump me up because there are some games we'll come in here, I'm going to do them, but my energy level isn't high at that point, or I'm a little unfocused. And then I start up the stream, the music gets going, and I see you guys just popping back and forth in the chat. I can't even begin to tell you how much of a difference that makes to me personally doing this. You play a greater role than I can possibly articulate. Thank you all so much. Now, coming up, leading off the top of the 8th inning for the Cardinals is Jordan Alexander Walker. 5-2 Diamondbacks in the top of the 8th inning. Due up for the Redbirds is Walker, Newbar, and Wynn. 4, 5, and 6 in the Cardinal order. Now, there's been a pitching change. The righty Ginkel is in. Now, here's the first pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? No, says Blue down the first baseline. Kevin Ginkel in 39 innings pitch at 2.77 ERA, a whip of 1.10. The 1-0 pitch. Pops straight up there into shallow center field. Coming in is the center fielder calling for it. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So a quick first out there by Jordan Walker. And now there is one out here in the top of the 8th inning. Stepping into the box is the lefty Lars Nootbaar. Righty-lefty matchup. Lars is 1 for 3 with a single. And a $1 super chat from Braylon. Here's the pitch. A ball on the four-seam fastball down and in, and the count is 1-0. Thank you so much, Braylon, for the $1 super. Every bit counts, and I can't thank your family enough. Now, the 1-0 pitch. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up to Nootbaar, and the count is 1-1. Coming set is Ginkel at the letters. He deals to Newt. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 1-2 strikes. So nobody on with one out, top of the 8th inning. 5-2 Arizona. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Lars Nootbaar. He briefly steps out of the box. Ginkel comes set. He deals. A slider just low on the inside corner, taken all the way there is Lars Nootbaar. Good eye by Newt, and the count is 2-2. Ginkel sets at the letters. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing on the slider down and in. Did he go around? No, says Blue down the third baseline. And the count is full. 3-2 strikes to Lars Nootbaar. Oh, that check swing was close, folks. No question about it. Ginkel comes set at the letters. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the slider away for the second out of the inning. So Lars Nootbaar goes down hacking for the second out in the top of the 8th. And here comes Mason Wynn, the right-handed hitting shortstop for St. Louis. Brother Joe, I appreciate you, Paul D. I won't say proud because it's bad word, so I'll say soldier, 100%, 100%, 100%. Righty-righty matchup, the first pitch to Win. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Delta. That was pretty cool after the Derby when he gave us a little lore that growing up people called him Alex. Yeah, the 1-0 pitch. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. I have a thought on that point in a moment. It's getting late. It sure is, Justin Beasley. And I could have many more shots here. The 2-0 would win. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. And the count is 3-0. John Wilms. Is Therese available? JP Joe Hobo with the $20 super chat. Stand by. I'm going to read that out. Now, the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. So Mason Wynn works a 2-out walk here. 4 in a row out of the zone by Ginkel. And the Cardinals have a runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Accidentally muted it. Love the show. Now, can you do something to force a win? Man, if I could, I'd be doing it in a hot second. $20 super, thank you so much. Now, the first pitch to Nate Church. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. No, thank you so much. That is remarkably generous. Righty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off first. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled down the third baseline and out of play. And the count is 0-2. Yeah, JP, out of this world. I cannot thank you enough for your generosity. I really appreciate it, and it really does help. Runner leads off first. Coming sets Ginkel. The 0-2 to Church. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Brother Joe, JP, you bad boy. It's incredible. Common sets Ginkel, the 1-2 pitch. Chop foul down the third baseline and out of play. And the count remains 1-2. Harold, if the Cardinals come back and win, that would be, to me, be turning a significant corner. I agree. Ginkel comes set. Runner leads off first with 2 out. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball upstairs. Just getting a piece of that cheddar is Church, and the count remains 1-2. Runner leads off first. Top of the 8th inning, 2 out. 5-2 Arizona. Ginkel comes set. He deals. Hit on out there into center field. Going back in front of the track, over the shoulder. He makes the catch right in front of the track for the third and final out of the inning. Oh, what a play out there in center field. Hauling that one in. Hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. Did Nate Church, but he hauls it in for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. After 7.5 innings of play, it is 5-2 Arizona going to the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. All right. Let's see. Roger, I thought they had turned a corner yesterday. You know, it's one of those things where on the everyday, sometimes it can be very hard to judge a team in that way, just given the large scope of the season. Something that this Cardinal team does pretty well, whether it be in victory or defeat, is that they leave yesterday to yesterday. which is to say it's kind of the reliever mentality, which is to say that really successful relievers mentally have to have the ability, whether it be a great outing or a terrible outing, to just turn the page and move on and focus on the next outing. And in some ways, I think this Cardinal team, in many respects, embodies that. And, as far as the positive changes that seem to be established over a long period of time, I think we are seeing that. We're seeing definite leadership from young guys, which is so cool to see. You can see it on the field. Just simply put, we don't know what's happening in the clubhouse. We can barely ascertain what's happening in the dugout. But in terms of true leadership, the only leadership in reality, which is leadership by example, this team has it in spades. And I really think that is something that really deeply impresses me. All right, we are back here for the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-2 Arizona. Due up for the D-backs is Arenado, Tawa, and McCann. The first pitch. And that's a strike, a sweeper on the inside corner to Arenado, and the count is 0-1. Matt Svenson's in the game. The 0-1 pitch. A sweeper strike on the inner third below the belt, and the count is 0-2. Matt Svenson in 39 2/3 innings pitched has an ERA of 6.58 and a whip of 1.64 in 36 games. The 0-2 hit on out there to left field. Charging in is Nootbaar. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Now, left field out there today at this time of day at Chase Field, there is a very strong beam of light that comes through the roof and is right on top of Nootbaar out there. I thought for a moment maybe he got temporarily blinded by it, but he clearly tracked it down. Now, here's the righty Tawa, who's 0 for 3. Nobody on with one out, bottom of the 8th. The first pitch from Svensson. A cutter just misses low and away, and the count is 1-0. Tim Tawa, 224 home runs, 16 RBIs in 40 games. Svensson comes set. The 1-0. Hit on up the middle, picked up there on a couple hops by Weatherall. He throws to first in time to get Tawa going down the line for the second out. So Tawa bounces out 4-3 for the second out. Now here comes the catcher, the righty hitting McCann. He's 1 for 3. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. McCann 1 for 3 with the RBI single. Couple quick outs for Svensson, showing a little bit of that promise that the front office so much had hoped. The first pitch to McCann, a cutter down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Svensson comes set above the belt. The 1-0 pitch, fouled back on the sweeper away, and the count is 1-1. Alrighty. Back into the box is McCann. Nobody on with 2 out. It's a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. A sweeper just misses the inside corner and ruled a ball, and the count is 2-1. At some point here, Joe Britting, I have to tell you the more complete story of how I became a Cardinal fan. Back in the box is McCann, the 2-1. Hit on up the middle, picked up on a couple ups by Weatherall just to the right of second. He throws to first in time for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Last lick for the Cardinals. It is a 5-2 Arizona lead. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Okay, so Brother Joe, in terms of how the idea of when I became and how I became a Cardinal fan. So I met my wife in September of 2008. Prior to that, however, I always had a strong appreciation and admiration for the Cardinals. I remember in my group of friends, we would all joke, this is like early to mid 2000s, we would always joke that you couldn't wear a Cardinal you couldn't wear a Cardinal cap unless you were jacked. which is obviously, we're thinking about Albert Pujols there. So you kind of get the idea. That, and, Tony La Russa, I always really dug him. Yadi Molina was great. I love Adam Wainwright, all that sort of fun stuff. But, even going back into the early 2000s, I was already paying attention to him. And so when I met Mrs. Game Mike for the first time and things started getting serious, it was one of those things where the Yankees and the Cardinals had barely played each other in interleague up to that point. They had played each other twice, once in 2002 and the other time in 2005. And then previous to that, not since the 1964 World Series. So there was no inherent rivalry there. I already admired the organization. The woman that I was dating then that is now my wife, I utterly adored. And we ended up adopting each other's team. So Yankees #1, Cardinals 1A, and the inverse is true of her as well. All right, we are back here for the top of the 9th inning. Last lick for the Cardinals. Due up is Fermin, Crooks, and then Weatherholt. So 8, 9, and 1 in the order. Now here is Paul Sewald. Had a little trouble the other night. 34 1/3 innings pitch, a 4.46 ERA, a whip of 0.96 in 38 games. He was very public. In Twitter in his criticism of the Cardinals for not bumping up that 4th and final game of the series that's going to be replayed in about a week and a half. Now here's for me in righty-righty matchup. The first pitch, a 4-seam fastball ruled a ball on the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. Then I went to my first Cardinal game in May of 2009. Sewald comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball, inner third below the belt, and the count is 1-1. And I already knew that the Cardinal fans were legendary in terms of their quality, and I was blown away. Now the 1-1 pitch. Strike, sweeper on the outer third, thigh high to Fermin, and the count is 1-2. So nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 9th inning, 5-2 Arizona. Stepping off the rubber there is Sewald, so we wait a little longer. And the funny thing is, that first game I went to, I have to get to the rest in a moment, Sewald comes set. He deals. A sweeper down and away and out of the zone. The count comes even at 2-2 to Fermin. They were playing the Brewers, and the game only got to the 4th inning because a monsoon hit, and they had to call the game and replay it at a later date. Common set Sewald, the 2-2. Called strike 3 on the sweeper on the inner third. Challenge immediately there by Fermin. He is going to lose that challenge, even though it is a wise challenge. Called strike 3. Down looking goes Fermin for the first out of the inning. In that situation, calling for the ABS challenge if you have it available makes all the sense in the world. Why Marte didn't do that last night on the called strike 3 for the final out that ended that game left everybody baffled. Now here's Jimmy Crooks, righty-lefty matchup. It's his first at-bat. The first pitch from Sewald. A sweeper down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Jimmy Crooks in 26 games, hitting 172, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Sewald sets. The 1-0 offering. Hit on out there into right field. Going back, looking up, and it is long gone. A solo home run for Jimmy Crooks. And that will bring it to a 5-3 Diamondbacks lead. Oh, that was an absolute no-doubter. Jimmy Crooks robbing Sewald of that not-so-pretty ERA, and that brings it down to a 5-3 Diamondback lead. Oh, boy. Oh, Carroll barely didn't even turn around. That got to the concourse out beyond the right center field stand. Now, here's J.J. Weatherall. Here's the first pitch. A sweeper strike on the inner third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. However, what the Cardinals need right now are base runners. Common set Sewald, the 0-1. A sweeper called a strike. Correction. it was called a ball, apparently. I thought he signaled strike, and he did. Just the Cardinals score bug there in the broadcast did not indicate. It's an 0-2 count. Coming set, the 0-2 to JJ. Swinging strike three on the sweeper, down and in for the second out of the inning. So JJ Weatherall goes down hacking on that sweeper, down and in, and the Cardinals are down to their final out. So stepping into the box is Ivan Herrera. He is the last hope for the Cardinals here, and he cannot do it by himself. And McCann is going out there to have a brief word with Sewald out on the mound. That's a spicy meatball indeed. Roger Baseman, I sure hope you are getting revenue. I'm getting a lot of side ads and in-between inning ads. I hope so, too. It's just, in this case, it's automatic. That's not something that, as far as I know, I can control. Now, the first pitcher, Herrera, fouled down the third base side and out of play. And the count is 0-1. Alrighty. Just got to the hotel in Macon, Georgia, hopefully to hear a comeback. I hope so, GJ. It's an 0-1 count, righty-righty matchup. Sewald sets the 0-1 Herrera. Hit on out there down the first base side and out of play on the sweeper away, and the count is 0-2. So the Cardinals are down to their final strike. 5-3 Arizona. Sewald sets the 0-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Sewald sets at the letters. He deals to Herrera. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball down Broadway, and the count remains 1-2. Yeah, we're grinding, we're trying. That's where it's at. Sewald sets. He deals. Hit on out there into right field. Right there is Carroll. He catches it on the line for the final out, and that is a 5-3 Arizona victory here on the Saturday afternoon in this second game of this three-game series. So 5-3 Arizona is your final. They split the first two games of this three-game set. And we'll be back tomorrow afternoon for the rubber match between the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. That game tomorrow afternoon, first pitch is scheduled for 3:10 p.m. Central Time. I will be live here on Game Mike at 3 p.m. Central Time. So first pitch for the Cardinals tomorrow in the rubber match, 3:10 p.m. Central Time. I'll be live here with the play-by-play live stream on Game Mike at 3 p.m. Central Time. 5-3 Arizona is your final. I'd like to thank you all so much for spending part of your Saturday afternoon here with me on Game Mike. I will certainly be back tomorrow afternoon for the rubber match. Unfortunately, given the scope of the task, I was originally hoping that tomorrow would be a proper on-camera live stream, but there's simply too much to do in order to be able to put that together properly on time. However, I have all the confidence in the world that we'll be up and running with the full setup for the game on Monday night out in Anaheim against the Angels. So thank you all so much for joining me here on the Saturday afternoon. Unfortunately, it is a 5-3 Diamondback win. And let me take a look for you all. All right. Brother Joe, haven't seen a Del Taco in like 12 years. Yeah, the last time I saw one was last year when I was in California. DJ Nick Fly, thanks, Paul. Have a good night, everybody. You be well, DJ Nick Fly. Jimmy, great call, Paul. Hey, thank you so much, Jimmy. At some point, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the 2026 Cowboys and how they're looking. If we remember, we've got to put that in the chat. I'd love to hear it. John Wilms tried to grind it out. I'm still proud of all you Cards. DJ, get the Macho Combo Burrito. The Cards are always in it. Goodbye, and Paul and everyone. Paul, I forgot. Are you still bald? Well, I'm very lucky that not only is my hairline very much intact, I haven't shown any signs of graying yet. So that might be a 40th birthday present, 8 or 9 months from now. Roger Baseman until Taco sucks. Oh, goodness. Jimmy, it'll be hard to put it all in a message due to limited space. Well, hey, when we come back around, remind me, and we can work through it, Obviously, if you have a few longer chats in a row, nobody's going to ding you for that. But thank you so much. Delta Leader, you're very welcome. Always happy to do it. 1-1 tomorrow, brother. Let's take this series. You know it, Brother Joe. Justin Beasley. Have a good night, everyone. Have an awesome evening, Paul D. You too, Justin Beasley, doing Justin Beasley things. Alrighty. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me here this Saturday afternoon. 5-3 Arizona is your final. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mic. I'm Paul D. Bombers Game Mic, over and out. Be well, both you and yours, wherever you may be watching or listening. 5-3 Arizona is your final. The rubber match tomorrow afternoon, first pitch, 3:10 p.m. Central Time. I will be live here on Game Mic at 3 p.m. Central Time. I'll see you all there. Bombers Game Mic, over and out. Be well to both you and yours, wherever you may be. Thank you, and have a wonderful Saturday night. I'm looking forward to my order from Steve's Hot Dogs. Be well, everybody. See you tomorrow.